So, here we are. Hi everybody. My name is Mike Hall and I run a TV station called Best Before TV, which shows vintage footage or vintage films, vintage TV programs, series, that kind of thing, over 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I run it entirely myself, and it's really good, and it's free. It's a little bit about what Best Before TV is, but the object of the podcast, or this cast, is to let you know that it's there, because I'm not allowed to stream it on various platforms, because they say that I sometimes don't stick to copyright, but I do. I'm very meticulous on what material I use, and I use always something that's in the public domain. And that's what I do, and it's vintage, and it goes back to the 60s, to the 50s, 40s, 30s, films, all sorts of things. So that's Best Before TV, and that's what I do. I'm trying to now, I want to go live with programs, and I'm at that age now, you know the age. I saw the 60s, I saw the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now we're in the noughties. And I think the wheel's gone mad. But never mind about all that, we'll come to that in a minute or so. And I call it the rise of stupidity. You know the rise of stupidity, you know what it is? That's where people, they have to have an excuse for everything, or they have to have somebody to blame. And right currently, which is in the news right now, which I find highly hilarious, are these people crying on camera, obviously acting as well, because you can see that 1 minute they're crying and there's tears, no tears, and the next minute they're sort of scolding us all for ruining the planet. But I remember many years ago, I remember the 70s when we had the big freeze. Yeah, great, snowballs and everything, we still had to go to school. And I also remember, you know, was it 70? I think it was 76, but I can't remember the exact year, but I was there when we had the very hot summer. And that's all it was, a hot summer. Now there's got to be a reason for it. And there's no doubt that the planet is changing, and it's changed through the whole of its entirety, of all its existence. The planet has changed. It evolves and it does things and gets on with what it does, and we basically should evolve with it. That's my take on it anyway. But for me, I think people are becoming a blame society where they think everybody owes them something. They think that the government's to blame for everything. And it's not true. It's not true at all. We are to blame for our own demise or success. I worked all my life, I've done all the things, okay, it's the same old story. And then I get told that, for example, I get a pension, and it's a benefit. It's not a benefit. I paid in, not enough, because it doesn't cover it these days, but it doesn't matter. The promise was that I would get a pension if I worked and paid into the system, and I want to hold everybody to account. That's what I want. I want my pension, and that's it. But it feels now that some people, especially some of the younger people, saying, "Oh, but why should you have a pension? Why should you have this? Because we worked hard for the country and for ourselves, and we're in that position. And you too should be in that position in future years. But what you do, you'd rather go out and talk about ridiculous things. And you know, the one that really does upset me is the young lady called Greta Thunberg. Oh yes, she does upset me. And I think before you start talking about what's going to happen to the planet, and what's going to happen to us on the planet, and the life of the planet, and all the rest of it, I think you should go and get yourself well educated and become a scientist. Become a climate change scientist, or whatever it is you have to do, become and study the earth and where we're going and what's happening, and then come back with authority and tell us. But right now, I find it really ridiculous. Now, I'm doing this today just to, it's more as a test than anything else, and to see whether we can do the kind of broadcasting that I want to do. But I do get riled. I get very riled. I get riled with all sorts of things. I've got lots of little clips of films that I can show you. And these people who are out there protesting at the moment about climate change, just stop oil. I bet they're all wearing trainers. I bet they're wearing something that's made or produced using oil. Well, everything is, because machines run on oil. Because if you don't oil them, they'll stop working. That's number one. Number two, they had to get to where they were going to do their protest. Yeah? And when they got there, how did they get there? Did they get there by bus, train, roller skates, horses? I don't know. But we can bet that they came in some kind of transport that uses oil. On top of that, they're gluing themselves to roads and this kind of thing. Gluing themselves to, how ridiculous is that? Glue yourself to the road. Isn't glue got some petroleum products in it? What are you using that for? You could use the good old, I don't know, animal glue. Oh no, you can't, because you're all vegans, aren't you? You don't eat meat or kill animals for anything. It's a sorry state, isn't it? You reach nearly your 70th year, or you're in your 70th year, no, maybe 69th year, coming to a 70th year, and you listen to all this claptrap that goes around. I don't know if it makes you feel a bit stupid. But that's how it is. That's how the world is today. And all I can say is, if we carry on the way we are, we'll be so frightened to go out of the front door. Which brings me to another subject. I want to do these podcasts, or these casts, or whatever you young people call them, and talk about how ridiculous things are getting. Drug taking, drug selling, drug growing, this kind of thing. This is all going on in county lines, and young children stabbing. I find it strange. When we were kids, and we had a beef with somebody, and you wanted to sort of make your point, then you'd go out and you'd have a fight. But you'd use your fists. And after you'd knocked the bloke down, and many times I got knocked down more than I stood up, but that's neither here nor there. The person you're fighting with generally would help you back up again and say, okay, that's settled. Shake hands and away you go. It wasn't quite like that all the time. Some people did bear a grudge and walked away. But basically people had a fight with their fists and away they went, and they resolved the difference. But I don't think fighting or violence of any kind is condoned or should be condoned. But that's what we did. Now, you're afraid to speak your mind anywhere because young kids, 12, 13-year-old teenagers, and younger sometimes, carry knives. They carry knives, and they have no qualms about pulling it out and stabbing you. And it's so sad that you see so many young children stabbing each other and dying and leaving their parents, and grief-stricken parents, which they are. And you wonder, and then the police do a thing called stop and search, although I've got a lot of things to say about the police, but in future casts we'll talk about the police. But the police have a law that's stop and search. But then, when they do stop and search somebody, they're barraged with foul language, which I would never have. I was so afraid of a policeman in my day. They spit at the police, they abuse the police, and all they want to do is search them to see if they've got a knife. Now, if you're a nice, upstanding person and you want the world to be right, when the police stop you for a stop and search, irrespective of your colour, religion or creed, stand there, let them search you. You've got nothing to hide. Yeah, thank you very much. He'll salute you and on your way. Away you go. Fantastic. That's all it takes. But it isn't like that, is it? I mean, we get certain communities saying, oh, it's all about, they always stop us more than anybody else. But a lot of the crime that's been, I mean, I've got to say, but it is a fact, and I'm not being racist because I'm not a racist before you even consider that thought. I feel sorry because the black community are losing lots of their kids. And a lot of the knife crime or the stabbings of their kids is black on black, gang on gang. Of course, white kids carry knives too, and all other denominations carry knives too. And it's got to stop. And I don't care who the police stop. If they have reasonable grounds to stop the person, not just because of his colour, but because they have reasonable grounds to think, he fits the profile. White, black, green, pink, blue, doesn't matter. Fits the profile, we'll stop him and search him. Stand there and let them search you. Away you go. If you've got something on you shouldn't have, well, them's the breaks, kid. That's what happens. And I think it would be a lot better for everybody if that happened. And it certainly would take the knives off the streets, and that's what you want. I know I'm rambling on a bit because I want to make this quite long, this little vid. Why do I want to make it quite long? Because I want to see how we record. If we can record for periods of time without interruption. And that's what I'm doing. So, we'll carry on. As I said before, my name's Mike Hall. I'm from Best Before TV. Best Before TV is a 24-hour internet TV station which shows you all the old vintage TV series and even vintage TV ads as well from the 50s, 60s and going even further back from the 40s and the 30s. So watch it. It's there on the bottom of the screen. I think you can see it now. It says bestbeforetv.com. That's basically how you get to it. And the other one on the other side is bestbeforetv@gmail.com if you want to send me an email. And if you do, I'd be very happy to answer or debate anything. I will eventually have a system where people can come on live and speak to me about the topics we're talking about. But right now I'm being pretty general and just doing this video to see how it all works. Now, let's move on a little bit. This gender thing as well. Now, as I said, when I was born and growing up, there was two genders. There was male and female. And I can live with that because you're either a woman or a man. I know, you know, that isn't politically correct, as you have to say people or whatever it is. But I don't know. I'm nearly 70 years old. And I've grown up always calling a woman and a man a man. And that's how it is, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm told now that there's many, many, many different genders. There isn't. There's lifestyles that people live, and let me be clear about this. If a person's gay or bisexual or whatever, it's not a choice. Most of these people, it's how they are, and they should be respected for it. They shouldn't be told off for it or said, oh, you're wrong. It's their life, and people can live their life how they want and should be let to live their life. I'm saying that just before we go into that anymore. I think people should always get jobs, should always be accepted for what they are as a person, not for what gender they are, whether they're male, female or any other gender they profess to be. I think that there is a certain amount of discrimination against people, and I think that's not right. People live their life the way they want to live it, and let them live it. But they shouldn't not have all the benefits that everybody else has. I'm not saying normal people, because we're all normal. We just have different ways of life. Basically, you know, I have many friends who are gay. My age, people who grew up in a time before when it was illegal, and they know about it. And people like Peter Thatcher and people like that who've done great for gay rights, they're fantastic. My friends live normal lives, have normal jobs, are normal in every, what I call normal. I mean, I'm going to get sort of told off for saying this, but what I see as being normal. And they're nice people, and I've known people for many, many years. And a lot of them who've grown up like me, around the same age as me, and they're gay, they've said, oh, you know, that's it, that's what we are. Take us or leave us, and I think that's how it should be. And it never should be a problem, and it shouldn't be highlighted just to put focus on people that just want to live their life. Everybody's entitled to live the way that they want to live, and that's how I see it. Now, I've gone on and on and on, and we've done 15 minutes of this video, and probably I've talked a load of rubbish, but it doesn't matter for this one. Just want to get you in the mood for more, and I'd like some feedback as well to, you know, whether an old geezer like me has anything interesting for you to listen to. I'd also be interested in people telling me what kind of things they would like to hear about. I know that most of the people that watch the TV station, we have lots and lots. I mean, we've had about, in just over a year that we've been broadcasting, we were up to about 93,000 people, which I think is excellent. And they don't watch 24 hours a day, but they watch the films they want to watch. TV series, I mean, we're running things like, we're up to, I think, 316 or 317 episodes of Peyton Place at the moment. It's in colour now. And also we do things like Sea Hunt, Annie Oakley, My Favourite Martian, these kind of things that we used to watch when we were kids, and just brings back the memories. Also I do lots of adverts as well, lots of adverts from the 60s mainly and the 50s, you know, and you can't believe the things that you see in the adverts. Quite funny. And so, you know, you might have some ideas on that. Also, I've just started running a program which is made here in Spain by two retired gentlemen. I call them gentlemen, not really gentlemen, they're a couple of petrol heads. And they have this thing about finding old cars and motorbikes and things and renovating them, and they started making little videos about them, and they're quite good actually, very amateur but very good, and they are quite funny in a way. And some of the cars that they do, one used to be a racing engineer, a racetrack engineer, a racing mechanic, and the other one used to race. And they're both total petrol heads. They have a YouTube channel called Zentech Garage, if you want to go and have a look at them. And believe me, they think the things they do, I mean, I see them off camera, so they're just crazy guys. And they're our age, or my age, not your age, you might be young. But they're my age, and we show it every Sunday, we put it on, and they give me a different project, and it might go over three weeks for one project or whatever. And I like to watch that, and people like to watch it because, like I say, what do you do when you retire? Well, you can do what they do. Also, just on the subject of TV again, because I love my TV station, you probably gathered that. On a Sunday, I do the Sunday binge. We call it the Sunday binge. What's the Sunday binge? It's basically this. If you used to go to the cinema when you were a kid, you know, the Odeon, the Gaumont, on a Saturday morning, and sing the song, you'd go, I'm not going to sing it, the Saturday morning song, and you'd go on with your threepence, and you'd watch a main feature. But before the main feature, there used to be a serial, and there used to be cliffhangers. They always used to leave you thinking, oh, I have to come next week to see what happens. But every Sunday on Best Before TV, I run a complete series of them. They usually run for about 15 episodes or 12 episodes, and then we run them on a Sunday in the afternoon, right through to when they finish. And it's called the Sunday Binge, and we do some really funny ones and excellent ones too. And you think to yourself, well, did we watch this when we were kids? And it does get a lot of views. A lot of people like to watch the old serials they used to watch when they went to the cinema. So that's something else I forgot to mention earlier, but that's good. And I'm about to start doing a cartoon time as well, because I had lots of people telling me, and they said, don't say I said it, but we used to like watching the old, Mickey Mouse, Popeye, this kind of thing. Cartoons, we don't get to see them. I said, well, come on, you're 69, 70 years old, you don't. No, but, So I might be running 15 or 20 minutes of cartoons as well very soon. But that's all in the future. Hopefully, I've said enough for now. I've set the scene. I will be posting videos, and hopefully you follow me and you follow the station. Don't forget, it's all, you go to www.bestbeforetv.com, and there you go. Once you see the picture come up, there's also a video page which you can click on and just watch videos of your own choice. It's all completely free, and all you do is sit and enjoy and look at the films that you watched in yesteryear. And if you want to send me an email, bestbeforetv@gmail.com, and hopefully I'll get it and respond to it in the next video. Whether that's a week, 2 weeks, or a month, I don't know yet. I am waiting to buy some more equipment, and as I did say, I run everything completely myself, so it's difficult at times, but it's rewarding to see so many people get so much enjoyment out of it. So until next time, the old git, that's me, and I'll be seeing you, hopefully, very soon.